The passport officer stared at my ID and asked how I was traveling when I was supposed to be in prison. I froze at the customs desk at Lax. My boarding pass to London crumpled in my sweaty hand as the woman behind the counter, Miss Krill, typed faster and faster. Then she turned her monitor toward me. There it was, in plain government text. Jocks Riley, convicted of armed robbery and assault. Sentenced to 15 years in California State Prison. Current status, incarcerated. That's not me, I said. I've never been to prison. She told me to step into a back office. According to the record, 3 years earlier I had robbed a convenience store in Fresno and beaten the clerk with a tire iron. 3 years earlier, I had actually been living in Portland, working my first job out of college, and trying to pay rent on a tiny apartment. There has to be a mistake, I said, showing her photos, messages, anything that proved I had a normal life. Then she said the sentence that made my stomach drop. The booking photo looks exactly like you. I asked to see it. The man in the orange jumpsuit had my face. Same hair, same eyes. Even the scar above my eyebrow from crashing my bike when I was 8. It was like looking at myself in prison, but it wasn't me. Then she checked another file and frowned. The fingerprints don't match. That was the only reason I wasn't arrested on the spot. I was held for hours while calls were made. I tried reaching my mom, my best friend, anyone who could prove I was who I said I was. No one answered. I sat alone under fluorescent lights, feeling my life split in half. Then a man in a dark suit walked in and introduced himself as Agent Foster. He opened a laptop, showed me a spreadsheet filled with names, and said I wasn't the only one. Over the last 5 years, someone had been creating false criminal records for real people. Clean records, stable jobs, ordinary lives. But why, I asked. His face hardened. Because private prisons get paid for filled beds. A company called Cornerstone Corrections had allegedly been bribing court clerks, using fake attorneys, and building entire convictions out of forged paperwork. My name had been used to create a criminal who never existed, because someone needed numbers on a contract. The next 8 months wrecked my life. I hired an attorney named Linda Vex, and together we built proof of where I had really been when I was supposedly being arrested in Fresno. Bank records, work logs, lease papers, time-stamped photos. Every ordinary detail of my life became evidence. Meanwhile, the fake conviction followed me everywhere. I couldn't travel. I couldn't pass background checks. I lost housing opportunities. One employer pulled back a job offer the second my record appeared. Even my family panicked when they searched my name and found crime reports with my face attached. Then Linda found more victims. A teacher who lost her job. A nurse who couldn't renew her license. A father denied custody of his kids. All of us were paying for crimes we never committed. We filed a class action lawsuit, and when the story hit the news, more victims came forward. 6 months after that day at Lax, federal agents raided Cornerstone Corrections. Executives were arrested. The clerk who processed my fake conviction was charged. The attorney who entered a guilty plea in my name lost everything. Eventually, the judge cleared my record and ordered the conviction erased. But the damage didn't vanish overnight. For 3 years, every ID check made my heart race. Every application felt like a trap. I needed therapy just to stop shaking when someone asked for my name. Then, 3 years after that airport nightmare, I finally took the trip I had planned from the start. I flew to London with my wife. At Heathrow, I handed over my passport and waited for my life to collapse again. The officer glanced at it, stamped it, and waved me through. That was it. No alarm, no questions, no accusation, just a stamp. And standing there in that airport, I realized something I had almost forgotten. They had stolen my name on paper, but they had never actually taken my life. Agar chaho main isko arziata emotional YouTube short voiceover style name be Titan Cardoon.